What's up, everybody? I see there's Micro Guru on Instagram. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? There's theoretically audio. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it should be good. Cool. Should be a lot of stuff on this slide. I don't know how long we'll go today, but made some improvements to my DIC system since I last streamed. And I've been working on some different looks for my videography here, going less, not being as worried about trying to replicate what it actually looks like, and more of a focus on just stuff that looks cool as kind of a filmic look to it. And I'm gonna be like really bad about responding to comments and whatnot, because I'm like not set up for that at all. I'll do my best, but for the most part, just enjoy. Darker, deeper with this. So I've got some different, one of the things I was working on last night is I put together some, like, in DaVinci Resolve, I put together some different filters. And so I might try playing around with those today. Let's see, like this one. See, I got this. Well, this one's got a kind of a weird cast to it. Let's see. I made a whole bunch of these. Let's try this one. That's interesting. This one's kind of like muted colors. 10x. These work better on the 20x. To the old juggling operation here. like the look of this one. This one has sort of like an old school nature dock kind of vibe to it. Oh, there's a Basilaria right there. Basilaria is like wrapped underneath this is Inspire Gyra. I don't know what this is. This is like some other kind of plant. Let's see, why is the background a gradient? Well, that's sort of a property of all DIC. I'm also using technically the wrong lenses for this system, so the gradient's a little more pronounced than it normally is, but that is something that is characteristic of DIC in general. It's based on how it works. This is cyanobacteria here. Let's see, we adjust our lens a little bit. We could probably clean that up. Yep, there we go. So I'm using a 40x lens right now, and it's very good, but only at very specific depths. So it'll be like perfect at one depth, and it has a correction collar on it. So when you kind of focus to a different depth, you have to adjust the correction collar in order to get the sharpest possible image. You could try taking this to like something crazy. These don't generally work that well with my current filters. We can get some kind of pretty wild looking stuff here. Maybe if I turn this like way down, I don't know. It's not the worst that I've ever seen. Kind of cool. What do we got here? More Basilaria. Let's bring it back out to the 20x here. Pop that back down. Yes, I am using S-Plan Appos, but the original BH2 DIC system is designed for the S-Plan objectives, not the Appos. So not quite as well tuned. Especially, really, it's only the 10x that really gives me like a significant amount of trouble. big ol'. It's not a stenostomum. It's something. Was it a rotifer actually? Like a squishy one. Oh yeah, here's this. So this is probably the largest freshwater ciliate I've ever seen. I think it's just like a really big species of Spirostomum. Let's see, I think we can go up this way and then bring that down. But I thought this was a worm when I first saw it. It's larger than a lot of worms, but very obviously this is a ciliate. What's up? Andy Pank in the house. Good to see you. But yeah, like this thing on the right is either, I think it's just a flatworm of some kind. Maybe a stenostomum, like a different kind than I normally see. But then like, and there's just this huge single-celled ciliate here. Let's see. Before I forget, I'm just gonna pop another drop of water on the slide. Make sure we don't run out. Let's go to. Let me see. I'm gonna change up my LUT here, and try something like this one, and let's go to 10x. So I made my DIC system 6 times brighter by changing out the original polarizers with some really nice quality new ones. And the only downside of that is now at 10x, it's actually so bright that I have to put in neutral density filters. Yeah, here's that big. What I'm assuming is I mean, it looks like a big Spirostomum. There's another Spirostomum on here somewhere too. Yeah, you can see, I saw the nucleus, the macronucleus. There it is. You can kind of see it. It's probably easier on the YouTube, but it's got kind of a stentor-ish chained nucleus. But yeah, it's big. There is another one on here. Let's see if we can find that guy. Type of trick. There's like a more normal-sized Spirostomum somewhere. Some other stuff on here too. Some nice rotifers. That's a nice Cerrella. thank you, Jerome. I don't know how to say your first name. Oh, is this the normal? Yeah, I think this is the normal size Spirostomum. Maybe. Or is that the same one? Like, even the other Spirostomum was still pretty large, but I think this one's the smaller one. But that other Spirostomum, like, it's as big as some of the bigger marine ciliates that I've seen. I think I could get this nematode under 40x here. Could be interesting. Let's give it a little extra. That. Let's see, that's the underside. So probably give it even a little bit more. It's really nice. I'm able to expose, like, I'm at with the 20x here, I'm at ISO 80 on my camera right now with these new filters, and like especially when I go to the 40x, like with the 40x I'm usually at like ISO 250 or something right now, like 200 or 250, and so you multiply that by like 6, like to get to where I'd have to get to, and you start really like noise starts to become visible there. If I was on my old setup, but now I basically get perfect noise performance at any magnification. Nemo Bont is asking the creepy crawly thing. I think you're talking about the Euclodes. It's a ciliate. Classic ciliate. Oh, here's a nice little white Eugleniid. Let's see, and that's right under. One thing I don't have set up on Instagram right now is sort of dynamic zoom. So if you're watching on the YouTube, you'll be seeing a cropped in version of this. So if you're on Instagram, it might be a little small. locks of film on here somewhere, hopefully. That was pretty cool. That's something I did have some like spillover when I made the slide, so it is possible that some stuff got washed off. Pretty dry. A worm that looks to be smushed. Nice Closterians. Here's a not smushed worm. Let's change up the filter here. Let's see what we got. Enjoy these looks. Very retro. Let's see, is my voice okay? Let me turn my mic gain up a little bit. And bring the music down a little. Okay. So the one that was walking around is a Euplotes. We can probably find that one again. Here's a nematode. Maybe the same one we were looking at before. Maybe a different one. Wonder where that locks of film's at. I'm gonna try. Let's see. I do this, will that give me, yeah, that'll give me dark field at least. Okay. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, what the heck? All right, so I'm on the 4x now. Rotifer, wormies. I'm just looking for this this loxaphyllum that I deliberately put on here. Oh, smushed rotifer. Huh. Where did that little bugger get off to? I don't know. It might have gotten washed away, or sometimes these things are just strangely evasive and they show up a little later. Let's see. You can see how the let's see, so that was that one. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. That one. Okay. So this one's pretty neutral, this filter here. Oh, hey, there it is. Yeah, see? I swear, these things. Okay, let's see. Let's get this on here, here, there. And bump that. Go to 20. This is nice though. This blue background with the kind of golden cast algae has some nice nice vibes to it. Yeah, coming out. Oh. Let's see, let's try. Let's try this one. And let's bring that down. Messing around with subtle white balance settings on the fly here. I think that looks about right for where it should be. Like, what's nice about this is I can go to like where it's almost like completely black in DIC, but because it like pulls the neutrals down to some split tone color, it just kind of works, keeps the image colorful without just being like dark. And there's something about it that like applying these like filmic looks, I don't know, maybe it's just the extra contrast or something, but I just like it. I like this. I feel like I should have been doing more with this. Oh, hey Teeny, welcome in. Yeah, this is loxophyllum. Some species of loxophyllum. Classic sort of misshapen pancake ciliate. They are quite flat. This one I actually caught last night. I had it in a little mini petri dish for a while. Let's see. There's a little hypotrick. Oh my. Why is this? There we go. Let's see. Let's get that down here. Oh, hey, there's a nice, there's a desmid. Let's see, it is quite deep. I don't think I can get the 40x on it. But it's a nice desmid of some sort. Let's see, what does that look like? If I, oh my god, what is that? Oh. Wait. Huh? I don't know what was going on there. Yes, hello. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Hey, nice clusterium, especially so like the colors. I love the colors that I get on like clusterium. There's some of these filmic LUTs. That one I can get the 40x on. Let's see, let's give myself a little extra. I think we can go that. See, we can do some advanced strategies here. Try not to disconnect my HDMI cable. Almost can get it. All right. But this just looks dope. And like, so I guess this is like split tone between, it skews more red at the high end and more green at the low end, and so that gives me this kind of ability to paint this clusterium with this sort of yellow green highlighting, and it just gives it kind of a vintage sort of filmy look to it. Let's see, we can bring it up like that. Turn this down. Go back down on that. And let's see. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, this is a dope filter. Let's see what else we got. New muted. Let's see. I think we're on. Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, we're on new clean right now. I've got like all my filters are named like new underscore lower contrast new underscore. Let's see. I think this is a more kind of, yeah, this is a more typical one. Oh, this looks good though. This looks good. Like, I love the green. The greens are so hard to get like correct. But that's like a nice, rich green. Let's see how it looks at 20x. What is that? Yeah, I mean, that's nice. That's nice. It's nice and rich. Love that. Let's bring my camera back into alignment here. Oh, what's up, Jay? You should go on YouTube. It's easier for me there. Although I'm neglecting everyone today. It's not easy. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, look at that. Some little colony there. Bordicella. Oh, let me hydrate. Journey of the Microcosmos never looked this aesthetic, as the kids would say. Journey of the Microcosmos, my issue with their stuff a lot of times is it's just absolutely like slammed in terms of like saturation and contrast. Like once you start like using you know, doing DIC, like using the microscope and like understanding how this stuff looks when it comes out of the microscope, you like start to, when you see other footage of it, like you start to understand how they've touched up the footage. Yeah, and I feel like Journey of the Microcosmos, they really, I don't know, it's just very like digitally slammed. And I definitely am preferring the kind of looks that I'm getting here that have a little bit more moody vintage coloration to them. I even thought about streaming in 24 frames per second, get some really cinematic shit going, but did it just eat one? Let's see, is this one? Yeah, we could look at this one with the 40X. Let's see, let's get this over there. Let's not lose you. Up. And bop, bop, bop. And zoop up. It's right there. It's a little deeper. Whoa. Oy. this guy is packed, absolutely packed with diatoms. I mean, really all the way through. You know, it's tough to, this slide I made by mouth pipetting a bunch of stuff together. Winter is always pretty difficult for diversity. And so there's really not, you know, it's, if I go out there in the spring or the summer, often there's just like heaps and heaps of ciliates, and you know, it's very easy to just kind of start collecting them. But and even like Basilaria, like usually where I went, I get all the Basilaria I could ever want. But right now it's kind of in short supply. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a filter that makes the colors work better. Muted. Let's try. Let's see. This one's labeled muted, so maybe that'll work out. I should go back to the 20x as well. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. That's nice. Deep, deep orange. Let's bring that down a little bit. Yeah, this is the split toning going like crazy here. Okay, don't hate this. Don't hate this at all. Let's see if we can find something to look at. I bet a nematode would look pretty tight under this. Oh, little rotifer. is that there's that loxaphyllum. And there was something else up here. Kind of jetted away. Whoa, yeah. Interesting effects. I think I liked it a little darker. Big old rotifer. Trapped. But kind of, this is good. Let's see. It's, there's enough, like, greenery here to keep it from getting smushed, and so it's just kind of right there, nicely supported. This is the same kind of rotifer that I posted on my my Instagram earlier. The one that I posted today. See a couple diatoms floating around in the stomach there. Alright, let's return to normal DIC paradigm here. Yeah, this is nice. Bring that down a little bit. Oops. And bring that up a little bit. Oh, did you guys see that? That was a poop. Classic poop in action. Let's see, we could take a risk and try to like make sure there's enough liquid. Might be able to give it some space to work its way free. Oh, it's a vorticella. Thought something else came out of it. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty well stuck. Let's get that going. Oh, there's the Euplotes again, or another one. Always tend to walk around. I think this is a smaller one than the last one was. You can see. I always feel like it's hard to know because you just start seeing them. I feel like they tend to run away. Maybe they don't like the light. I'm not sure. Speaking of, let's just make sure that that's in a good spot. And you can see all the bacteria and whatnot running around here. I floated this cover slip. I started floating it last night. And then I used that to cap off a mouth pipetted sample. So there is significant growth. that. Oh, come on now. Don't start. See, this is ridiculous. Like that. What's it doing? As soon as I go to the 40x, it just books it. I swear, they know. They like high key understand that you're trying to look at them. I'm gonna come back. Oh. Well, let's see if there's anything around here to look at. Diatoms. Diatoms are pretty much the one thing that you can always count on any time of year. Oh, hey, look at this. We got a nice little amoeba here. With some sort of bacilliform bacteria. Pretty small amoeba. Yeah, so one of the cool little techniques that you can do if you want to get a slide that has a lot of cool stuff on it is you can take a cover glass and just float it on the water in like a petri dish. And for whatever reason, the organisms seem to appreciate that. And a lot of times you'll sort of get a community that over a day or two grows up and starts kind of living on the underside of the cover glass. Let's see. Let's see. So this one, yeah. Like this amoeba is literally right underneath. Like that's the exact underside of the cover glass, so you can kind of think of it, it's sort of upside down here. Let's see. So this is sort of looking underneath it now. So it's kind of reaching down below the surface of the cover glass. Shoot. Give me 1 second here. I've got to adjust something. There we go. And I had a little bit of liquid under the slide. Now the cover glass is light enough that it'll float on the surface tension. I also tend to use number 0 cover glasses, which are extremely thin. They're about 0.12 millimeters thick. So those really float easily. It tends to be better to use a thinner cover glass if you're going to make like a kind of a sloppy slide preparation, which this is, that has a lot of depth to it. I think we saw this Gyro Sigma rather earlier, but nice frustral. There's a little hypatrick buddy. And some kind of motile cessalid. Why did the music stop? What's up with that? Okay. Well, there's a nice live Gyro Sigma. And it's right on the underside of the cover glass, so we can take a nice close look at it. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, this just looks, this is so good. I love it. I love the colors here. Like it really just has that ethereal sort of glow to it. Doesn't this just look nice? Right? Doesn't this look better than Journey to the Microcosmos? Like more provocative, more aesthetically interesting. I think so. Yeah, this is like a colorway here. This is like the green mixing with the gold of the diatom chloroplasts. That's just nice. Take a little stretch. I'm almost tempted to try oil immersion on this, but I don't know. I think normally in the past when I would do this, I had special LUTs for oil immersion to bump the contrast more. So I think it wouldn't turn out as good as I might hope. Yeah, I'm kind of like this look right here with like the kind of cutting across it. That looks really nice. Like we could go, let's see if we can like light it up too. Like split toning is just so nice for this. Like that gives me a whole other lever of like how to manipulate the image. Oops. Let's try another filter on it. Let's see, what do we got? So this is Filmic New Teal. Let's see, Filmic New Muted. There we go. Yeah, this one was deliberately muted in color. Maybe give it some of that. Bump up a little bit. So I think the muted stuff works nice when you have something that is actually like super saturated, so that it like when everything else is muted, it still stands out like really nice. These chloroplasts are kind of like almost there, but we could try moving this into a colorful domain. That's a different look. if I go back with it this way and bring it out. I'm going like way off the regulation map here of what you're allowed to do with your DIC prism. Like, this is very funny. Like, this looks blue, and like the background, like through the eyepieces, this is pink. This is like baby girl pink when it's blue. Yeah, very tough. These colors are so difficult to like get to come out nice and consistent with just one LUT. Let's do another one. Aggressive green. Bow. That's aggressive. Yeah, this one reminds me of British racing green. Sorry, I guess I'm not really like looking at the comments too much, so if people are complaining that we've been looking at the same diatom for a while, I'm sorry. Add a little more water to the slide. We can go look at something else. No, I think bring it up. Thank you, Jet Jazz. I appreciate that. I am really trying to like, you know, I'm making a push to really like, I don't know, like discover new looks, new ways to like present microscopic content. That doesn't just look like everything else. I feel like there's a bit of a, if there's a problem with like the hobby of like high-end microscopy, it's like at the end of the day, you're sort of just in a race to like get the best gear. And I mean, I've got an FX3, so I'm one to talk, but oh, I forgot what these are called. These weird little ciliates with like the very spiky cilia. But yeah, I feel like microscopy can, you sort of risk having it become about just getting better gear and getting a better microscope, you know, and like, is there really nothing else to aspire to other than technical improvements? And yeah, I am still enjoying my BH2 just fine. Let's see. Let's try this one. No, that's a negative. Get that the hell out of here. This one, more of a teal. Let's see, something new. Dun, dun. Let's do this one. Yeah, this one's got kind of interesting forked cilia. Nice. Oh. I remember this one. I forget the name of this one. Like, it was on the slide earlier and it was kind of misshapen, and like now that it's sort of recovered its shape, I remember this one. Some kind of nasalid, I believe. You can see its oral basket sort of brightening and darkening up as it orients across the field. Let's see. Oh, wow. It just like squeezed a whole lot of diatoms out of itself. It's trying to eat that Nietzsche there. Nice side view there. If we follow this around for long enough, it will probably find a diatom to munch on. I mean, they're all over the place. Yep. Oh, there we go. Yep. One more down. That's what it is to be a diatom. Just sort of hang around until you get eaten by one of these. Might try to eat one of these. I like this filter. This is like a this is a split tone, so it's like the green filter, but I have it set to preserve neutral tones, so it doesn't like go as crazy on the gray background and turning that green. So there's a more like, you can kind of see that like darker stuff in this has sort of a greenish tint to it, but it's a lot more subtle. And so this kind of looks less obviously stylized, but I think still has like a very distinct look to it. And it's also extremely tight that we are doing this at like ISO 250 with a 40x objective. Like I could basically, I always do run, oh, has it got something? No. Taste something. I always do noise reduction when I produce video content. But I could easily use this like straight out of camera. Like the amount of noise that's present is very low. And the main reason I remove it is just because it's better for like file efficiency. Like there's more data being used on actual content. But like before, I would have to have this running at like 1 to 2000 ISO, which isn't terrible on this camera by any means, but like it is noticeably different, especially when you're boosting the contrast up. That exacerbates the noise. This little rotifer here, wildin'. Those beady red eyes. And there it goes. Little poop there, little poop action. There goes some more. These ones, I feel like I barely even ate these. All right, I'm gonna take a minute or so to stretch. Let me find something we can sit on. There's a little Tiny little ciliate critter there. All right. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Stretch my legs. Okay. I do have a slide from last night that I think is still hydrated. We could potentially also check out. Let's try going back to. Let's see. Let's go down here. And we'll go to that. Open that up. Bump that up. Take. Oh, bump this down. Take that out. There we go. We can kind of see. Stay put. See what we're working with. Got a few more of these ciliates out here. Oh, there's a nice big long Basilaria colony. You know, we haven't looked at this worm too much. Let's give the slide a little bit more water. And let's check this fella out. These things can be surprisingly predacious as well. I don't think you'd want to use a frosted slide. That would give you most likely some non-uniformity in the illumination, just due to the, unless it was a very fine frosting. Like for the most part, you really want to like accomplish all of your light conditioning well before you get to the slide. think I prefer the more standard one. Let's go to the 20X. And munching on diatoms. What else is new? See, now here's a good example of safety in numbers. This thing probably cannot easily chew off diatoms from this Basilaria colony. Oh, hey, Trick Track. Yeah, it's actually gotten better, theoretically. So it has been beaten, but it was me. It's been beaten by me. Yeah, I think one thing I want to work on is coming up with some LUTs that'll work better with like polarized light, and that's going to be really difficult because of just the gamut that you really have to cover. But I'd like to do some crystal growing stuff, both videos and streams. I have in mind a video, like a polarized light microscopy video, because I think polarized light microscopy is just like easily that is a technique that literally anybody with a microscope can do at a high level, and get like better results than honestly most of the stuff that you see posted like online. I think very few people actually like do as much as they could with polarized light microscopy, including the people that are like doing it as like their main form of art. I don't know, maybe they just prefer a certain look, but you can just take that so much farther. And definitely check out, I put the if you've been on my Instagram, I showed the 3D printed devices that I made for polarized light microscopy, for like stacking up multiple filters and being able to manipulate them individually. And that is on my Thingiverse page, as well as on the Discord if you're in the Discord. Look at that, there's a centric diatom here. Is that gonna get munched on? He's kind of acting like he wants to. Did he sniff it out? Mic audio is left channel only, huh? Interesting. Oh, I guess that's because I don't know why that would be. Let's see. Well, maybe that'll fix it. I put it to mono. Does this sound different? It could be. I'm using a that's a new piece of tech. I've got one of those Scarlett audio receivers. And I don't really understand how to fully use it, but it's probably like mixing the two inputs that it has. Okay, yeah, I'll just keep that on mono in the future. That's easy enough. We can go check in on that rotifer that was in here somewhere. Oh, there's that guy again. There's more. There were more of them around here. I swear, it is. Never ceases to amaze me how easy it is to just like miss large organisms. Yeah, this nematode's still there. There's this guy again. Give this one more look. This one's kind of tricky. These Closterium are like, they do respond slightly to polarization, and I think this one is kind of oriented right now to have a minimal response. You know, those spirochetes flying around too. Are you using the glass pearl Spacers. No idea what you're talking about. Oh, you mean like under the cover glass to space the cover glass? Is that what you mean? Ah, there's our rotifer. Yeah, no, for these, like a lot of times I'm basically relying on this algae here um, to accomplish this basing. There's the beads, the microspheres I only use for when I'm doing like single organism stuff. Yeah, you can check out this slide from yesterday, see if anything was still going on it. Oh, there's a Frontonia. Still going. This one had a lot of diatoms, a lot of live diatoms. It had. I also got. I should try. There was a secret stream last night when I was working on these LUTs, and so I streamed for a little while, and I got some cool footage of one like predatory ciliate. Had kind of an interesting movement pattern, and I was gonna see. I think YouTube's still like processing that stream. Let's see. Let's go to. So I've been getting good success. I've been using the 40x phase annulus is my dark field filter for the 4x. Let's see, what does the 10x look like? Yeah, that's no good. Of course. It'd be interesting to find that that predatory ciliate again if it's still alive. Oh, there's a nice Cimbella right there. Some structural color. Let's see. Go to this. Will it? Wait. Let's go back to that. Another Frontonia. Couple of Frontonia. Well, I don't see it, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Oh, there's a Euplotes. I remember I chased that around a whole bunch yesterday too. Got some good footage of that. Rotifer. Where is that Euplotes at? Probably booked it. There it is. Let's see, what filter are we on? You clean. Let's try. I'm trying to figure out which one is the one that's like my normal one. I guess is it this one? That looks pretty normal. Yeah, so I have yesterday basically what I was doing was I was streaming in OBS and then I had DaVinci Resolve open as well, and I was like generating LUTs in DaVinci based on some footage that I was grading and then like popping them in to OBS. And so all the LUTs that I'm using today are from last night, stuff that I put together, different looks and whatnot. go like a green one here, which I think appreciates, yeah. I go to, let's see, I have a different one. New green. There we go. Yeah, this one's a little less aggressive. But yeah, I've been, especially like one of the things I realized is that like setting up a split tone really gives me a lot of like creative latitude. So like here, when I make it darker, like it takes on that green, and then I can bring it up and it takes on more of a purplish haze. So yeah, it just gives me tons of freedom. That's a nice dye, Tom. Is that a Navicula or star anise? Hard to say. I think it's in girdle view right now. Maybe not. Maybe it's valve view and it's just let's see, is it in, oh no, that's super deep right now, so I'm not gonna be able to get it with the 40X. Oh, this is like, this is the one that's like star anise, but it doesn't have the Staros, I think. I think I see, I think I see pores where the Staros would normally be. But very nice dye, Tom. Yeah, all the LUTs that I've been making, they're all kind of based. They're all coming out of DaVinci. And I kind of do like I basically I'll capture some footage and give it a basic grade, get it to like a neutral point, and then kind of between some color warping stuff and then also just the filmic look creator, I've arrived at a few different treatments. With a definite intent, like the big thing is to like really do like bleach bypass kind of effects, stuff that knocks down the brightness and even the saturation of your more saturated stuff, so that, I don't know, it just kind of takes on a sort of more dreamy and like rich colors rather than super bright and high contrast stuff. So like you get contrast in like lights and darks, but your colors come out more earthy. I wouldn't say that I enjoy focus stacking. I find it to often be very tedious. The results of focus stacking can be very cool, and I've done a little bit with that. But what I like to do for focus stacking is just rack focus while you're taking video in 4K, because that kind of nets you for free a whole bunch of 4K images, which isn't really like publication worthy, but it works. Yeah, I look at like a lot of these colors. I'm just like, I'm reminded of the photos from like old microscope catalogs and stuff. Let's see. Kind of just hunting around here. See if we can find like a nice, find a nice diatom that's like right under the cover glass. Oh, there's this big ceruleoid here. Let's see. I think that's doable. Yeah. Yeah, this green, I was saying earlier, it kind of reminds me of like British racing green, so it has that sort of sense of like an era to it. Nice view of the nucleus there. Let me try pop in. I have another green LUT. Aggressive green. Ooh. And then if I pop this up a little bit and then bring this down. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want that. my color is like way off. Let's see. Pilot. That one. That. Needed. Clean. But yeah, pretty much all of these, like, they share in common that, like, I'm very much treating the colors differently than I have in the past. And I think that definitely gives it, like, a distinct vintage look. And, like, all of these look like, I don't know if like, film is correct for everything, but it does look different than just normal, like, kind of like what I'd normally do when I'm, like, editing footage and doing color correction. Sample source is the local creek. Classic. Yeah, we had a lot of rain recently. And that kind of washed away a lot of the you know, a lot of the like gunk and stuff where you normally have good luck finding critters. So got our bubble closing in. So right now it's kind of slim pickings. Once it warms up, it should be nice. Like, I think it'll be good that everything kind of got washed out and can regrow. But right now it's kind of like going to like a mountain stream or something, where it's just basically like rocks and a little bit of silt, and then every now and then like some plants that are managed to hold on. This one's all the way on the bottom, so no luck with the 40X. So you can see this stuff on the bottom all has that glow around it, and that is spherical aberration. Which looks kind of cool, like panned out. It kind of has a nice look to it, but does sort of ruin the detail that you can possibly achieve. Another Sorelloid diatom. And some Basilaria. There's a nice Sorella Frustule. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. How many glass elements are between the light source and the slide? That's like a BH2 test question. Gosh, I don't know. Many. Because this is a curler microscope, so it's the light source is in the back and going through some focusing and diffusing optics, and then bounced up through the field lens, and then all the elements in the condenser and everything. Ooh. Well, I think I might be getting ready to wind down here. Been going for about 2.5 hours. I don't expect this to be a regular occurrence. like as in, oh, we're gonna do this every week, like that kind of thing. But you know, it's always fun to put stuff out there, and doing this helps me kind of like just take time to like focus on the effects I'm getting, and sort of understand, you know, what's a good look, what, you know, what where can I take like certain types of footage that I might not normally like in directions that I might not normally go. So yeah, we'll figure it out, and then I don't know what my plan is for like long-term streaming, kind of after I get everything else set up. But yeah, thanks for checking in, folks. Good to see some of you still around, some new faces as well. And yeah, I don't know. Share my okay. Do whatever you want, but if you are so inclined, the thing that really like I am trying to like, I guess, increase my Instagram footprint a bit, just because I think that's a good like companion content outlet for something that's like more long form, like YouTube, which requires you know, like considerable effort in between content drops, at least if you want to make good content. And so, but like Instagram, I think is like useful for like, you know, taking some stills or getting some clips. But yeah, if you are so inclined, if you see a post, just think about like sharing it, because that really is like the only way that I've ever seen any amount of like additional followers or like views, is by sharing. Like there's really, I don't think there's a whole lot of like discovery that happens naturally on Instagram. So again, it would be nice to kind of grow that a little bit more than where it is right now. Nice. What are these? Actino or heliozoan? Heliozoan. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's it for me tonight. So I will see y'all when I see y'all. Take care.